be looking at some more of your actually pretty interesting deck list out of Euros. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There are a lot of moving pieces in this list. And when I first initially saw this, I was like, we're doing Fiendsmith with Purrely. Like, okay, so we're just going to make one big fat cat, have your opponent really just dislike you, and then you're going to have the Fiendsmith stuff sitting on the side as the actual deterrent. That kind of summarizes the plan, correct, right? Like, you've got everything you need here. I mean, you're doing two of the delicious memory, but what I find very interesting down here is they're side decking the triple Stray Street. All right, it's the thing that your opponent can't target your Purrely monsters with card effects. Very interesting to see, but I believe that the reason for this was they valued the Fiendsmith interactions and, you know, the Nimble Angler Beaver interactions to be able to hard make, you know, these two cards a lot more than the initial value that the Purrely field spell gives them. But by having it in the side deck, you have that immediate access to pull it out and be able to use it against your opponent. And I think that's very, very important to recognize out here. You're also going to notice they are side decking a Fucho, which I do like this card a lot over the anything down here in the extra deck. But there's just going to be a lot less situations, I feel like, that the Fucho comes up based on the current build here. We're also playing the Book of Eclipses here. You want those defensive options. You need to make sure that whatever your opponent is going to be doing that is going to be deemed something titanically crazy to a field, that you can immediately react like this and be able to clean up those problematic cards. And I think Book does a very fantastic job at giving you that defensive option, or at least that reactability to be able to do so. But this, I think, was one of the coolest lists out of the weekend here for the WCQ. And then we also had our second place list. I did not, when we filmed the video yesterday, this list came out just a little bit afterwards, so I didn't actually get the chance to see, you know, what secrets were inside of this. So much like a lot of the ideas that I saw from Herman's list, board breakers were the best thing that this deck could actually kind of help to bring to the table. You know, you have the Dark World No Mores, and we are going to count the Evenlys as board breakers here, because the power that you're getting with Evenly to be that card that, you know, your opponent doesn't have an Omni, so you can just go ahead and Evenly the field, clean it up, or Dark Roller it, and then, you know, you can start to rely on Protos to spin the game back into your favor. A lot of comments I've read from people are being like, Robbie, just call the deck what it is. It's Protos control. Yes, Protos is a fantastic card, and it is one of the driving forces behind why this deck is good. But I'm not going to take away from the fact that, one, Ritual Beast cards have insane searchability and good cycling. You know, being able to get to his steeds as a defensive option against your opponent's really good. But also, being able to have, you know, the Link 4 and a lot of the other things that this deck can put on the table, do not underestimate that. Floodgates are very, very good cards. That's why, you know, you have the Shifter, and you also get to see the Dimensional Fissures coming in here as well. Yes! Floodgates. What are you going to do about it? This duel was able to make second place out of their event. And I think that it's incredibly important that you recognize the accomplishment that this takes. And I think that this has now set the mold for what you're expecting going forward out here for your variations in the deck builds. All right. Did I say enough? Everybody understand? Yep. I'm happy to see Ritual Beast doing well. Ooh, Gimmick puppets with the Horus cards in here. You know, you have so many methods of madness to the Gimmick puppet deck. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I have genuinely enjoyed the ideas that people have been putting to the table here to mess around with this. It really showcases the level of insanity that the Gimmick puppet cards are. And if you don't recognize that, you know, oh, I might get OTK'd out of left field. Yeah, we are playing 2 copies of the Terror Baby. Yes, crazy little thing. Only 1 Biscay doll. I feel like that's normal. Your horse package is 6 cards. I don't think that this is an issue whatsoever. Especially like if you do see the tome the beautiful field spell. Also, interestingly enough, we are main decking 2 Argent Chaos Force. I know there are a few people out here that would look at that and go, what is the point in, you know, dedicating slots to 2? I think having access to the 2 definitely gives you a fantastic chance to not lose the 1, or, you know, in case you hard draw and your opponent has a hand trap to kind of prevent you from getting to it. Let's call it what it is. I mean, you know, there are some scenarios that you're just like, oh, yeah, thanks, you have the interruption? Just better than me. And that's kind of what it feels like out here a lot of days. I mean, you are playing the preventative crossouts to try to stop getting hand trapped. I mean, this was successful enough for this duelist to make their way into the top 64. So, congratulations to the Gimmick Puppet Madness. This deck is really stupid when it actually gets the chance to shine. Also, the Droplet Board Breakers. You know, this is just Gimmick Puppets. All right, Labyrinth. Now, we've seen quite the interesting talk of Labyrinth as of late, but I will tell you without any doubt in my mind that the best build for Labyrinth right now has become the simultaneous equation cannons. As much as you might be looking at this and going, are you kidding me? This is just the current state that things are in right now. You have to be able to play this card. All right, and let's call it what it is. So many people are like, I've become a math expert because of my simultaneous equation cannons. I mean, sure, it is. Honestly, I think the reason why this is so good right now is, 1, people are very unprepared for this. 2, if you know how to control and use this card. And 3, it's a normal trap card. All right, like, you care about this being a card that you can actually bring onto the field and use as that interruption against your opponent. And it's working out fantastically, actually. I definitely think this is the biggest thing that Labyrinth's got going for it. Now, with this list, you do see that we do have the shifters in the main deck. Personally, I think that the shifters are fine. The build from the EUWCQ to this one did not play shifters in the NA version, so, you know, adding in the shifters for that more protective defensive option, I think does work out more in their favor. You just want defensive cards, like that's what it is. And shifter has been able to steal so many games just on its own. Like, it's actually kind of mind-boggling, the value and stupidity that shifter can actually kind of toss into the equation. So, good job, Labyrinth. Definitely one of the most surprising factors of the weekend here. Hi, Edit Robbie here. The Magical Musketeer deck just dropped, and this is one of the things that I was personally waiting to see. So we're going to go ahead and we're tossing this in here for the top 64 discussion here. This build was actually playing the Link into the Vrains. It's just special summon a monster from your hand, negate its effects, but then immediately after it resolves, you get to Link summon a Link monster using monsters that you control as material, including that monster. And the Link summon cannot be negated. Also, your opponent can activate cards or effects when a Link monster is Link summoned this way. So you know what this does? This gives you the ability to tear on through the Magical Musketeer Max while going second, and then the Max actually will get to trigger, giving you the full field of everything that you actually need to be doing, which personally is a little bit insane. Now remember, this is the one deck that actually gets to do the Link 1 into the Link 1, and then Requiem gets the chance to break off, and then you get to go down all of the cool combo lines that you actually need to do. Now, this build is actually playing the triple sync as well. I mean, this puts the free monster on the field that, guess what, qualifies for you to the ability to go down all of the lines of play that you need to do. I also do like the Magical Musketeer lineup here. Just the one dock, the triple Starfire, the triple Caspar, all that's in fine. I also do see that we are playing the one copy of Diabolica. Diabolica has been a very cute card that we've kind of seen seen come out of these builds that has given the deck some little extension plays. Side deck absolutely is bonkers. You know, you're not doing any upstart goblins or any of the real extra fat along the way. I also will say, you know, in terms of your package for magical musket cards, you're pretty easy to do. You just need one of each of these, and you're basically able to play the deck, which is actually kind of cool to see. And the entire extra deck down here, entirely generic as well. So this build definitely, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy seeing this, and there's a lot of good synergy to be had with this. So please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.